Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Open the Door, and this is episode 56, Open the Door to Higher Perspectives and the Bigger Picture. So I'm sure you've probably heard this quote about you can't see the forest for the trees. I did not understand what that meant for the longest time until I started to learn more about the bigger picture. So what that little saying means, can't see the forest for the trees, is that it's asking us to don't get lost in the details and look at situations as a whole. So stepping back from immediate emotions or situations with greater clarity and understanding is what it means to get the bigger picture. It's being able to focus on long-term goals, broader impacts, and underlying principles in situations. Having a higher perspective means considering all the angles, the context, and wider consequences of our decisions. It's recognizing that some disagreements and conflicts are temporary or even insignificant to the grand scheme of things. Looking at the bigger picture means seeing beyond immediate frustrations or desires and looking towards what is really important. Well, this is difficult to do because we get caught up in our immediate desires and emotions and challenges in our daily lives. But we can learn to look at the bigger picture with patience and reflection and take a higher perspective, which helps bring more clarity and helps us to make better decisions. Here's a list of why it's difficult for us to see the bigger picture. We have this emotional intensity that arises often. Could be anger, sadness, frustration. And when that happens, it narrows our focus, causing stress and feeling overwhelmed. And that also makes it difficult to focus on the bigger picture and keeps us trapped in what's urgently happening at the moment. So we could have bias and ego standing in our way when it comes to looking at the bigger picture, and our own personal bias and past experiences can cloud our judgment. Lack of information is another reason why it's difficult to see the bigger picture. We just don't have enough information or context about the situation to make an informed decision. Cognitive overload. This is when our brain can only process so much at one time and chooses to not look at the bigger picture. And habitual thinking, focusing on short-term fixes and having reactive responses that we've been conditioned to throughout our lives, and this is what arises in moments of difficulty seeing a higher perspective. But here's why it's important to take a higher perspective. It helps us to have informed decision making where we can understand the broader context, and then we can align our choices with long-term goals. Excuse me. Taking a higher perspective brings about emotional balance. It reduces our stress by recognizing that problems are often temporary and setbacks are also temporary, and they might not be significant to the grand scheme of things. Growth and learning come about from taking a higher perspective, and encourages reflection and learning from our experiences. Better relationships are formed through taking a higher perspective. It helps us to navigate conflicts with empathy and patience. Resilience comes about from taking a higher perspective and gives us better coping skills during these setbacks, failures, and hardships. Alignment in values keeps us connected to our core values and our purpose. When we take a higher perspective, we are more aligned with our values. So situations that can benefit from taking the bigger picture would include these kind of things: conflict resolution, where we prioritize the relationship over winning an argument. Career decisions, when we weigh long-term career growth, work-life balance, and alignment with our personal values. Financial planning is another situation that benefits from looking at the bigger picture, and we can prioritize long-term security through decisions about spending, saving, and investments. In the realm of parenting, taking a higher perspective can help you to stay consistent and persistent in your approach to raising happy, responsible, and well-adjusted children. Health and wellness, taking a higher perspective, helps us stay committed to our long-term goals despite a lack of immediate results. And major life decisions definitely can benefit from taking a higher perspective. We're embracing change as part of our growth, whether that's related to a relationship possibly leading to marriage or even relocating your home. So societal or global issues, whether it's climate change, social justice, politics, all these things can benefit from taking a higher perspective where we use a collective long-term thinking that's necessary for meaningful change and doesn't just impact us individually. Romantic relationships can benefit from higher perspective, and we balance short-term conflicts and our insecurities with the benefit of the long-term commitment with our partner. So learning how to take a higher perspective involves these steps. As always, pause and reflect at first and just acknowledge if you are or not being able to or have been implementing this idea of looking at the bigger picture. And then ask big picture questions. Things like, how will this impact my life in 5 years from now? What do I hope to gain from this situation? What have I learned from the past and how can I grow from that and apply it to my future? Other ways of learning how to take the higher perspective include things like practicing empathy and detachment, being able to zoom out mentally, setting long-term goals, and using mindfulness and meditation regularly to stay on track with these goals and help us to maintain this bigger picture. We learn through our experiences. That also helps us to utilize a higher perspective. And another great way to gain this higher perspective is surround yourself with other people who have similar goals and views, and encourage each other to look at take a higher perspective and look at the bigger picture. So accept uncertainty and change as a part of life. And knowing that 5 years ago you probably would not have imagined you're doing some of the things that you're doing now. And just keep in mind that, change and uncertainty is a part of life. So take that bigger picture and see that you've made it through everything else. You're still here, and you'll continue to learn and grow as you gain this higher perspective. So regularly journal and reflect in order to kind of check yourself and do a self-assessment and see if you are caught up in the moment and wrapped in emotions and immediacy, or are you able to kind of step back mentally and look at the bigger picture and see what impact this has in the greater scheme of things. So this is our episode for today. I'm going to record a separate video with a meditation. I'm going to start that in just a minute. A meditation for taking the higher perspective. So if you're interested in that, click on the next video. But I will end this one here. And I thank you for joining me. I hope you're doing well. And as always, I'm going to wish you peace, love, and light. Take good care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Bye for now.